Welcome to the Stretch Street Podcast, your go-to source for exploring life's challenging experiences and drawing the lessons from them. I'm your host, the energetic EJ, and today I'm talking about a topic that affects many of us: Imposter Syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a term used to describe the feeling of inadequacy and self-doubt that can arise in individuals who feel they don't belong or they are not qualified for the positions they hold, despite evidence of their competence. Individuals with imposter syndrome believe that they are frauds and that others will eventually discover this. Imposter syndrome can affect people from all walks of life, regardless of age, gender, or occupation. But it's particularly common in high-achieving individuals, such as a successful professional or student. So, what causes imposter syndrome? Research has shown that it can stem from a variety of sources, including childhood experiences, societal and cultural expectations, and internal thought patterns. For example, individuals who experience criticism or perfectionism during childhood may be more likely to develop imposter syndrome as adults. Society's emphasis on achievement and success can also contribute to this feeling of inadequacy, as people feel pressure to constantly prove themselves. So, let me tell you a story of how I fell into the dirty hands of imposter syndrome recently. I was invited by a friend to MC the birthday party of her child, 1 year old. I was happy about this gig, and then I got to the event and discovered I didn't really have the capacity to handle a kid's party. I had plans for some games and whatnot, but the games I had in mind was too advanced for the kids that were in the room, and I simply froze. The dialogue in my head wasn't palatable at all. I started quite alright, trying to engage with the people, but you see, the dialogue going on in my head was like, EJ, you are not good at this. You've not done this before. What are you doing? And so I froze. This inner dialogue discouraged me, kept me mute, and I pretended like I wasn't even there. I felt like I was just the wrong person for the job. I tried to hold conversations with the parents in the room, but just couldn't maintain it, and that was how that event just went. We just had random conversations here and there, had laughs and everything, but I could feel that I did not deliver the way that was expected of me. And so I started to question myself the moment I stepped out of that place, that what really went wrong? This is not usual. Why could I not just deliver? The host, who is my friend, definitely thought I could handle it. That was why she reached out to me, and here I was woefully disappointing her. So I had to do a lot of reflection and personal dialogue to get to the bottom of this and ensure that this does not repeat itself again. It was during my reflection that I realized I really messed things up, even for myself, because in that room were over 10 parents who could have invited me to MC at their kid's birthday party. Gosh, I could have done a job so well that all of them would want to have me at their next event. What's more, there was even an event professional in there. And all of this became clear just after I started to reflect on what happened and why I acted, or why I just lost it. I was just cold. I could not even explain. In fact, some of the people in the room were people I know. And because I started with an introduction and said this and this and this are what we're going to do, one of them came and said, "Hey, EJ, you said we were going to do this. When are we going to start the conversation you talked about?" And I just covered it up with another conversation. Everybody's busy. Nobody's listening. All along trying to quiet this dialogue going on in my head. Why am I sharing this with you today? I am sharing this to let you know that imposter syndrome can get a hold of the best of us, and being self-aware to catch it and nip it in the bud is quite important. In my case, I didn't catch it on the spot, but I was aware enough to know that something was wrong and to get to the bottom of it and to resolve not to let it happen again. And for this, like this awareness, I am super grateful. And so I just wanted to share that with you today. So then, how can we overcome imposter syndrome? Here are a few strategies that can help. I had to also dig in so that, again, this thing that happened to me would not happen again. And so I wanted to share with somebody who is listening to this today. Number one, identify your thought patterns. The first step in overcoming imposter syndrome is to become aware of the negative thought patterns that are contributing to your feelings of inadequacy. After that, number two, reframe your thinking. Once you've identified these thoughts, it is important to challenge and reframe them. I wish I reframed mine. I could probably have changed the situation at that event. So what you want to do is when you catch these negative thoughts, replace the negative thoughts with positive affirmations and focus on your strengths and accomplishments. I mean, I could have just remembered that it is you now, energetic EJ. Come on, you got this. Whew. I mean, it's not as funny as I'm laughing now, but I'm laughing because I have learned and I know this will not happen again by God's grace. Number three, talk to someone. Imposter syndrome can be overwhelming, but it's important to reach out and talk to someone you trust, whether it's a friend, family member, or mental health professional. Speaking openly about your feelings can help you process and overcome them. In my case, I didn't talk to anybody actually, but I talked to myself. And I was able to have this dialogue and come to a resolve that this would not happen again. Number four, which will be the final point I'll be sharing with you today on how to combat imposter syndrome. Celebrate your achievements. So it is important to acknowledge and celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may be. This will help you build your confidence and break free from the cycle of self-doubt. In my case, again, I feel like probably if I just talked to myself and said, okay, come on, you started the whole event already. You engaged the people responded. Just do it again, right? Do it again and stop letting this negative voice stop you. But I didn't do that. And really, I am sorry. I feel strongly that I should apologize to my friend. I think I'm going to do that. So in conclusion, imposter syndrome is a common experience that affects many of us, but there are ways to overcome it. By identifying and reframing your negative thoughts, talking to someone and celebrating your achievements, you can start to build or continue to grow your confidence and break free from self-doubt. Thank you for tuning in to Stretch Street Podcast today. I hope you really enjoyed today's content. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with a friend or leave a review on your favorite podcast platform and let me know what you think about today's topic. If you also have similar experiences or if you've had similar experiences in the past, feel free to share with me how you were able to overcome them. And if you have overcome them, if you haven't, then let me know if these tips that I've shared with you today, you're going to put them into practice to help you overcome imposter syndrome. Again, this is the energetic EJ. Until next week, take care of yourselves and remember, you are not alone. So keep stretching, but don't snap. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.